What's up guys, Phoenix here. This video is going to be another DevPro duel video in Ranked, and this time I'm going to be playing with the Dragunity deck, featuring the new Titanic Galaxy combo string that I just did a video on a couple days back. It's not really a new combo, it's just something that's not really been brought to light by anyone really. The ability to make a rank 8 and a level 8 synchro in the same turn, while also keeping up resources in the form of a Tum and Red Men stuff on your board. It's something that no one's really actually touched into in video format that at least I could find. In terms of people actually talking about it. It's definitely something that's existed, but nobody really just went around and talked about it. But anyway, this is one of my current builds. This is probably like the best one in terms of what I'm testing. Just playing a bunch of ignorant cards in the form of, just playing triple instant fusion, playing all like good traps, playing ignorant one-ofs like Raigeki and Soul Charge. Pretty much all but like 10 cards in this deck are combo cards. Like the cards that are not combo cards are literally the 6 traps, the Raigeki, and then the Max C. So there's 7 non-combo cards. Leviton's not a combo card, so that's like 8. Red Med 9, and then Upstart 10. Although it does get you to a combo card. So yeah, literally like only a quarter of the deck is not combo cards. Everything else is pretty much very combo oriented. And as well, I'm very much considering just cutting the Solemns out of the list, putting a 3rd Dragon's Bind, and then just playing something like a pair of Twin Twisters, or maybe even moving the Dark Holes to the main deck so I can go second and clear boards with those. Stuff like that. Very much potential options that I am considering for this deck. This deck basically is ever-changing. I don't believe it's going to be anything meta-oriented. I don't think it's anything that you could expect to take to an event and do well with. Maybe a regional, something like that, ultimately, because like sometimes you can get away with playing dumb stuff at those sorts of events. But mainly you just have to know exactly what you're trying to do with the deck, and that is to perform that very specific combo. Now, what I am playing that you might find strange is I'm playing a full copy of, like a full playset of Triple Baby Rock. This card is honestly what makes this entire deck sort of shine in its current form with the combo strings you're trying to achieve. And the fact that Baby Rock is essentially just another combo card that you can draw in conjunction with Ravine Phalanx is it's just very large, and like what it allows you to actually do is very good as well. Because what it does allow you to do is that you can draw it instead of Mistleton, instead of Garuda, and instead of Instant Fusion, and it's also just as powerful. But it also is a combo extender mid-combo. And so that's kind of why you want to run 3 of it, so that you can actually just keep using it over and over again in the combo string. But, for instance, if you had like a starting hand of Ravine, Phalanx, and Baby Rock, you're able to go Ravine Phalanx for Ducks, summon the Ducks, get Phalanx back, make Gayderg, and then you're able to add Garuda and discard Baby Rock. Baby Rock will summon itself. You can special the Garuda out of your hand by banishing the Ducks out of grave. You can synchro up into Red Wyvern, and then you can immediately go into a Tum. A Tum gets out Red Eyes. Red Eyes gets back the Gayderg, which adds and discards Zephyros, which then bounces the Red Eyes, and you basically just have, one of your standard Dragunity openings. Like, you just have one of those, and then you can also extend it further by the fact that you are going to be able to resolve one more Gayderg in that turn. Thus, you're going to be able to potentially add like Baby Rock as well, and then you have other combo cards as well. It's another one of those starting combo card pieces that's just really good to have in potential, I'm trying to think of like what word I'm trying to think. Potentiality, is that the word I'm trying to think of? Who knows? The circumstances of like just what make this card good just warrant it being a 3 of in this specific build, and might even warrant like Gayderg being bumped to 2 copies, simply because if Gayderg gets stopped, it is such a big problem. You don't even understand. So this Dweller that I almost never make might end up being cut, simply because, most of the time Gayderg and like making your plays are like just the better option, and like Crystal Wing kind of alleviates the issue that Dweller was here for as well. There's all these little potential options and things that can be changed around for this deck list to potentially function well, but I'm pretty confident in the ratios monster-wise. Might try to find room for a 3rd Mistleton, maybe cut one of the Garudas down to like 1 copy, because you only really search it mid-combo if you do have a Baby Rock in your hand. Stuff like that. But Mistleton is overall just a better starting combo piece because it doesn't soak up your Vajrayanas out of your extra deck. Stuff like that. Just minor intricacies, as well as though this being another 6 to summon off a Tum if your board gets broken. Stuff like that. Very minor intricacies are everything that I think about with this deck. Divine Lance is very good. All these cards are just very oriented towards either making the combo happen or just being a very powerful card to back up the combo with. And like I said, the Solemns might easily be cut for something. Maybe even Call the Haunteds might be put in this deck just for a recovery option. Stuff like that. But I digress. That is enough babbling on about this deck list, because God knows I could keep talking about it for a long time afterwards, but I'm just going to keep it at the little bit that I've talked about here, and let's just jump into the game. Alright, so let's see what we're actually playing against. Awesome! I get to go first! Oh, and I have the combo. Awesome! Yo! I have the combo with Dragon's Bind. Alright. I can play with this. It's a weird one simply because of the fact that I'm actually just going to discard this Baby Rock, and I'm actually not going to give a shit about it. That's the thing. That's what's actually going to happen here. So I'm going to add a level 4 lower Dragunity. I'm going to discard the Baby Rock, and I'm going to actually summon Ducks and equip it with Divine Lance, because that's going to get the flanks out of the deck. So that's what's going to end up being the play, because then I'm going to be able to go Instant Fusion, I'm going to be able to set Dragon's Bind, do all that cool nonsense. So, seems pretty alright from a layman's perspective. So, let's see what happens. If he has Max C, then shit, tough titties, I've got to keep going. Okay, so he doesn't have it. Good. Alright, step 1 has been achieved, whether or not my opponent has Max C or Effect Veiler. This is the point where we test if he has Veiler or not, because at this point he has no idea what the other cards in my hand are. So there's no reason for him to let this go through, without knowing other cards. So, we'll do Norden into Ducks, and we'll just keep going with the full-on string of this play, because this play is so easy to open, strictly because of just how many of each combo card you're running. Like I said, you don't even have to have Instant Fusion in your hand. If that Instant Fusion was another card, I could have easily just discarded it and done this entire play string with, adding Garuda off of Baby Rock. Like, it was very much easily adding Garuda off of Gatorg and discarding Baby Rock, and then that would establish the combo. It's very, very, very easily. Oh, I almost overlaid without doing the mandatory Zephyros. You definitely have to get all 3 Gatorg searches, Gatorg dumps, because otherwise you are not going to be able to make a rank 8 and a level 8. So that's the issue. But we'll attach this, get the red med out, standard cookie cutter nonsense. Activate this, get back Gatorg. Gatorg will add and discard a Baby Rock, which will then be able to synchro up it with this into Red Wyvern. And I really like the fact that Baby Rock is just a +1 in this scenario. Even though you are using it for synchroing away and you are taking a minus doing so, but it's just good quality card interaction. That's really all I can have to say for it, is that it's good quality card interaction. So we're going to overlay these into the second Atom. Kind of doing things a little bit out of order here, but it doesn't actually truly matter that much. Really? What would have to be triggered when I have 2 Atoms on the board? That's the question I have. What would that be? Please tell me. I don't want to find out. I don't want to find out in a passive way of just being absolutely dicked over by it. That's not what I want to deal with at all. But so Special Phalanx, activate Zephyros here, bounce Red Med. I really wish this extra deck was like 20 cards, because as you see, I've already gone through basically almost half my extra deck, and I'm going to keep going through more. I'm going to go through at least 2 more. So that is that. So I will synchro up with these 2 into Vaj. Vaj will get back the Phalanx yet again, and then we'll just go into Titanic Galaxy, banish one of the Atoms, get back Gator, get another Baby Rock, and make our Crystal Wing. I'm gonna make Scrap Dragon here. I'm gonna overlay the Scrap Dragon because I want to still be able to make the Stardust if something doesn't happen to this Titanic Galaxy, but if my board space gets opened out enough, I would love to do that. But so yeah, special summon, banish this Atom because it doesn't really matter. I just kind of like Red Med being front and center. Just personal preference. Like, it really doesn't matter which one you banish. I mean, I guess putting Vajrayana in the grave puts more wins, I guess, if that matters, but it doesn't really, so whoops. So this will go there, this will special itself, and we'll make another Crystal Wing play happen. So, Crystal Wing, Titanic Galaxy, Red Med, and Atom. So even though I took a minus off of the Divine Lance, I still ended up at 6 cards because this overall play is a +2. So we will definitely go with that. I'm perfectly fine with this as being my board presence, especially since I have a floodgate in the form of Dragon's Bind. Like, goddamn. Out of all the things that I could have drawn, Dragon's Bind, that one's a good one. That's probably the best trap. That's the one I definitely want to see the most, because like even like Dragon's Bind doesn't shut you off as much as it does as like Emptiness does, because of the fact that Emptiness prevents all special summons. But with this, I'm able to bring back like potential things that died. Like if this Crystal Wing dies, but I still have Dragon's Bind up, then I can just bring it straight back with Red Med. Same thing with Titanic Galaxy. I can basically just keep recycling my negates even with the Dragon's Bind up, depending on what my opponent does to actually put them in the graveyard, if that's the potential thing that they end up doing. But as it stands, I have no idea what I'm playing against, and that's very much probably going to be the theme of these videos. Is that if I go first and I do this combo, it's basically just me trying to like lock you out of the game with the little bit of capability that this deck is able to do so with. Although a monster effect negation, a spell negation, and Dragon's Bind, pretty damn good in terms of what we're looking at here. It might actually just only be Dragon's Binds and Emptinesses in the main deck in terms of traps. I might actually just bump out combo cards even more because, whew, man, those combo cards, they're insane. Either that or it'll be like cards like Twin Twister or MST, something that would allow me to go second, and stuff like Raigeki Darkhold potentially. So I am playing Max Season in this deck, so there's that. He's literally just stalling out his timer. That's not that's not respectable. My question is that why does this Baby Rock have just white over it like the rest of the cards, but then these Baby Rocks are yellow? I don't get it. I mean, it doesn't even make sense that like they were summoned from grave, because Zephyros was summoned from grave and it doesn't have a yellow sticker on top of it. I'm so curious. I'm so curious as to what the actual meaning behind that is. Okay, so he just literally passed his turn. He just waited for the clock to run out and just didn't do anything. Alright. Well, neat. So we'll activate this, and we'll summon back the Gatorg from grave, just because it's a beefy beater. It's a beefy monster. I've got a Max C now in my hand too, so Max C with Dragon's Mind. This is all just a little bit too much for little old me to handle, particularly. I really like this deck. I really like it. I just don't think it's anything that's like meta, like anything that could be potentially meta oriented. I might play it at a regional or something. Who knows? It depends on if I actually care. Because I mean, I've had my invite to nationals since last nationals. Actually, I got it there just because I didn't want to like mess around, and so just got it there. So I literally have not played in a single regional this entire season since nationals 2015. And I just have my invite. It's on the website. It's just there. I was like, wow, they actually put it up there. Neat. Cool. I was expecting to have to re-earn it because, like, sometimes paperwork does fall through the cracks, especially at those larger events, and you will just not get your invite sometimes, even though you did earn it. So there is definitely that, but yeah. Overall, yeah, I have no idea what I can call this video because I don't know a single card I played against. Actually, I can find out. Check this. Okay, so I ended up playing against Kozmo's, which is in, like the arguable, like, actual matchup that I actually, like, basically wanted this combo to be done against, because of the fact that Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon is basically a death sentence against the Kozmo deck. But, yeah, so his entire hand was, actually pretty decent in terms of what it's capable of doing. However, like, the only card he really has that does anything in this scenario is, like, Good Witch and E-Telly and the Dark Destroyer. And he could definitely summon the Good Witch and, attempt to Book of Moon my Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, and I would have to negate it. And then at that point, he could chain Good Witch's ability, try to summon Dark Destroyer from hand, and I would most likely let that go, because of the fact that, like, if he's tagging out Good Witch, he's more than likely summoning Dark Destroyer. And then, from there, well, actually, no, I would definitely try to Dragon's Bind, because then I still have the Titanic Galaxy negation for the potential emergency teleport. But then still, like, that's still just, he definitely had plays in the form of normal summon this horrible card in the form of Good Witch, but it just happens to be good in this situation, ironically enough. But he could have easily just normal summoned Good Witch, attempted to flip my Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon face down. I have to negate it, or else I'm just going to lose my negate for the turn. He chains its ability, tags it out. The effect still gets negated, so Crystal Wing stays face up. But then he gets to summon Dark Destroyer, and then Dark Destroyer gets to pop either Titanic Galaxy or Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. most likely Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, and then he gets to attack over my Red Eyes. And then he gets to set warning. So that's actually something that is very interesting. The fact that he just didn't do those plays is something I find very, I don't know. But anyway, as always, guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe to all the nonsense you usually do. The links are in the description to my Facebook, Twitch links, and all that sort of nonsense. That's what they're there for. If you want to check them out, go ahead and do so. If you want to support me, clicking ads on my videos and disabling ad block when you view my videos is the best way to do so. It helps out a ton. Can't express how much so. And you'd have my eternal gratitude. I'd be greatly appreciative if that's something you take the few seconds out of your day to do to help me out, because it is basically a form of income at this point in time. And, you know, you supporting me just supports me wanting to further make content for you guys in this sort of method to, you know, for you guys to hopefully enjoy. I mean, even though my opponent did have, you know, a play he could have done, and then he could have followed it up with a warning, I could have easily probably just lost that game, depending on which monster he actually hit. Like, there's definitely room for me to have lost that game. He just didn't see it, I guess. But interestingly enough, it's all because of that Good Witch, man. That Good Witch was the only reason that he could have potentially won that game. And, like, no Kozmo players play that card because it's absolutely terrible, but some people just seem to have not gotten the memo. But anyway, as always, guys, thanks for watching, as I've already said. And as always, guys, take care.